SpongeBob SquarePants Mysteries Find a Missing Star. Chapter 4. Squidward didn't have to search far to find SpongeBob. He was standing by the road just outside the Krusty Krab looking lost. Okay, SpongeBob, Squidward said walking up to him. Let's hurry up and find Patrick so I can decide which of my masterpieces to display at the mayor's party. Why are you just sitting there staring off into space? SpongeBob turned to Squidward, surprised to see him. Did you say let's find Patrick? Are you going to help me? Yeah, Squidward said. Mr. Krabs made me, so let's get started. SpongeBob threw himself at Squidward, hugging him tightly around the waist. Oh, thank you, Squidward! Thank you, thank you, thank you! Prying SpongeBob off, Squidward said, Forget thanking me. Let's just get this over with. Where do we start? SpongeBob looked discouraged. But that's just the problem, Squidward. I don't know where to look. I've already been all over Bikini Bottom calling for Patrick and he hasn't answered. I've looked everywhere. There's nowhere else to look. Did you check at the bus station to make sure he hasn't left town? Oh, Squidward, Patrick would never leave town without telling me. SpongeBob answered. But yes, I did check the bus station. They haven't seen him. How about the... Yes, I checked the airport. How about... And the train station. How... And all the taxi cab stands, and the heliports, and the wagon depot. Bikini Bottom has a wagon depot? Squidward asked, surprised. Forget it. It doesn't matter. Furrowing his green brow, he concentrated. Well, he said, when someone's missing, you go to the police and file a missing persons report. That's a great idea, Squidward, SpongeBob said. Come on, let's go! He grabbed Squidward by the hand and ran off to the police station as fast as his turning legs could carry him, dragging Squidward behind. Ah! SpongeBob, slow down! Wah! Squidward screamed, bouncing over rocks and sticky nettles. SpongeBob burst into the Bikini Bottom police station and ran straight to the front desk. I want to file a missing persons report! But the officer at the desk just ignored SpongeBob, staring down at the folder in front of him as though it were the most fascinating thing he'd ever seen in his life. Frowning, SpongeBob repeated, excuse me, officer, I'd like to file a missing persons report. The police officer said nothing, acting as though SpongeBob wasn't even there. Breathing hard from being dragged to the station by SpongeBob, Squidward walked up to the front desk and leaned on it, trying to catch his breath. The police officer looked up immediately. Yes? He asked politely. May I help you? The two of us are together, Squidward gasped. We liked to file a missing... Oh, I see, the officer interrupted. You're together. Yes, Squidward confirmed. Got it, the police officer said, going back to his folder. You can go now. Squidward looked confused. What do you mean, go? We haven't even told you who's missing. The officer just stared down at his folder, pretending to read. Why are you ignoring us? The cop sighed and looked up. Why? Why am I ignoring you? I'll tell you why. In fact, I'll show you why. He turned and called back over his shoulder. Hey Barb, come here a second. Another police officer joined him. The first cop pointed to SpongeBob and asked, Who's that? Officer Bob smirked. You know perfectly well who that is. Indulge me, the first officer said. Tell this gentleman here who his friend is. That right there, Barb said, is the little guy who's always wasting our time with missing persons reports. He filed a report when his teddy bear went missing. SpongeBob looked indignant. How was I supposed
must have known Teddy was under my bed the whole time.
And when he couldn't find his favorite spatula, Barb added. SpongeBob whipped out a spatula and held it up.
Now I make sure I carry Flipper with me wherever I go.
The first police officer chimed in. Remember the time he wanted to file a missing persons report just because he couldn't find his can opener? Vividly, Barb said, nodding. How could I forget it? The guy was hysterical.
That was an emergency, SpongeBob insisted. I couldn't feed Gary without Spinny.
Squidward held up his hands in surrender. Okay, I get it. SpongeBob files way too many missing persons reports, but this time, it's totally legit. It's actually a person who's missing. A person named Look, pal, the first police officer said sternly. We've got strict orders not to file missing persons reports from this guy. See? He pointed to an unflattering picture of SpongeBob on the wall. Under the photo, a sign warned, "Do not accept requests for missing persons reports from this sponge, or else." Yeah, Barb sneered. So beat it before we toss you two out on your overreacting butts. As SpongeBob stared at his photo on the wall, trying to think of a way he could snatch it down without getting in trouble with the police, another officer entered the station. He was leading a pirate with a long beard and a black hat toward the station's detention area to lock him in a cell. Nodding toward the other two cops, he said, "Hey, Steve. Hi, Barb." "Hi, Mark," they replied. "That guy trying to file another missing persons report?" Mark asked as he headed into the back, nodding towards SpongeBob. "Yup," Steve confirmed. "So what else is new, huh?" Mark joked. The three police officers laughed. Without really understanding the joke, the pirate laughed too. "Har, har, 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 har. Come on, you!" Mark barked at the pirates. SpongeBob watched Mark march the pirate away. Seconds later, a cell door slammed. Clang! Squidward saw that they weren't going to get any help at all from the police. "Come on, SpongeBob," he sighed. "Let's get out of here." Outside the police station, SpongeBob was in despair.
"Aw, this is hopeless,"
he moaned.
"I mean, if even the police won't help us, then who will? Where are you supposed to take a case the cops would handle?"
"A private detective?" Squidward suggested. SpongeBob's eyes got big. He grinned from ear to ear.
"That's a terrific idea, Squidward!" he squealed. "We'll hire a private eye to find Patrick!"
Stay tuned for Chapter 5, coming up soon.